What's up, guys? Miami beat BC 41-32 on Saturday. It should have been 41-23. We all know that. We gave up a late touchdown, and we took a safety in the end zone, so they couldn't get the ball back. So they couldn't score. Our offense looked pretty good. We did a hurry-up offense, which I haven't seen from us before. Kind of surprised we did it. Going from position to position. Quarterback Stephen Morris looked great. The one interception he had wasn't his fault. It got tipped from Rayshon Scott and picked off after the tip. So that was another drop ball. I think they said we had like seven drops in the game, which shouldn't have happened. So Stephen Morris had 207 yards. He went 28 of 45, 207 yards, a touchdown and a pick. The touchdown went to Malcolm Lewis. It should have been more like 35 or 42 because of the 7 drops, but you can't take anything away from the game. He had a good game. I think if he keeps going like this, it could be the answer for us at quarterback. Going on to running back, Mike James had a pretty good game. 14 carries, I think, for 54 yards, something like that. But the real star out of the whole offense, not just the running backs, was Duke Johnson. Had 7 carries, 135 yards, 19.3 yard average, 2 rushing touchdowns, both over 50 yards, one of 54, one of 56. The first one he had, I think that was the shorter one. The 54 was amazing, man. That just, I got so pumped up during the game for that. But I just got via Twitter, he's named the ACC Player of the Week. Not just a freshman, but player, I think. Let me check. No, whatever, it's not important. Eduardo Clements only had 3 carries, or 2 carries, I think. He had we had 3 rushing touchdowns. Duke had 2, Eduardo had the other one. Fullback, I didn't really see Maurice Higgins play. I don't think we used a fullback at all last game. I'm not gonna say we didn't. I'm not sure, but I definitely didn't see him in there. If you guys have, please tell me. I'd love to hear it, but I definitely didn't see him in there. I think it will change against Kansas State. They said the only reason we ran the hurry up was because they saw something in BC's defense that we could attack that way. And now from watching the game, I definitely see why, because we scored 41 points on them. We haven't scored 41 points in a long ass time. But wide receivers, Malcolm Lewis had a great game. He had the only receiving touchdown. Allen Hurns had 8 catches for 81 yards. He did have a few drops. Rayshon Scott had a couple drops. Philip Dorsett, I don't think he had any drops, maybe 1 or 2. I think the receivers had a pretty good game, but they definitely need to step it up for Kansas State. They can't have any drops against Kansas State. Kansas State will definitely be one of the toughest opponents we face this year. Going to tight ends, I think for how we got them involved, I think they did really well. Asante and Clyde both had 2 catches. Asante had more yardage, but I didn't realize Dyron Dye was our #1 tight end on the depth chart. I didn't know that until after the game. But Jedd Fisch has been saying it all offseason that he wants to get the tight ends involved. He wants to be like the New England Patriots. But we only threw the ball to them 4 times, or maybe 5, because I think Asante had 1 drop, but Clyde didn't have any. Like, I don't get why. He says they wanted to bring him in, but we only threw it to them 5 times during the whole game out of 42 attempts. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Offensive line was the best part of our offense by far. I definitely think they could be the best part of our offense throughout the whole year. Maybe even one of the best offensive line units in the whole country. I know I'm going far with that, but if they keep it up, they only had 1 sack, and it wasn't their fault. Stephen Morris held on to the ball for like 5-6 seconds, which everyone knows at the most you're only supposed to have the ball in your hand for 3 seconds. But our offense played really well. I really like our offense. I like the hurry up. I don't think we're going to be doing that for Kansas State. I think we're going to be more more controlled in the huddle type offense. On to the defense now. I have a lot of problems with our defense. First of all, defensive line. Great job containing the run. Horrible job getting past your blocks trying to get to the quarterback. I understand you're trying to control the gaps and not overdo your assignments, but you still have to get pushed on the O-linemen. It looked like they were getting manhandled the whole game. Yes, we only allowed 2.9 yards per carry, but we didn't have one fucking sack. There was only one sack the whole game, and we didn't have one. Chick, you said you want double digits. You have to prove it. There's only 12 games. You missed one. You didn't have any. You need to step up your shit. The whole defensive line, you guys are acting like a bunch of idiots, like a bunch of cowards, like a bunch of pussies. Against Boston College offensive line. We were supposed to outweigh them, both offensively and defensively. Our offensive line showed it, but not our defensive line. You guys need to fucking step it up in the pass rush. Run defense, I love it. 2.9 yards a carry, haven't seen numbers like that in a long ass time. I really like our chances going to Kansas State just because of that rushing statistic. I know they have a great quarterback in Colin Klein. He's a dual threat quarterback, but they run spread options probably 60% of the time. So I definitely like our chances, unless of course they change their offense to match the weakness of our defense, which of course is our young secondary, and even our linebackers to some degree in the pass coverage. Going on to the linebackers now. Denzel Perryman had a great game. Interception return for a touchdown against a real opponent. First time I've seen that in a while. I do know Kelvin Kane returned a touchdown, pick for a touchdown last year too, but that was against Bethune-Cookman, an FCS team. So I love that. He had 7 tackles, Casey Rogers led the team with 9, I think. Ramon Buchanan had a good game. The other starter, I think Eddie Johnson deserves to be a starter with that forced fumble. I really do. Jimmy Gaines needs to step up his shit a little bit, but I really think Eddie Johnson deserves to start at that left outside linebacker spot. Going to secondary, cornerbacks, Brandon McGee had the best game of the corners, I'd say. Overall wise, coverage wise, I think Thomas Finney had the best game. Tracy Howard, I know he's a freshman. He is getting tested early. Teams are going to go after him, and I think this will only motivate him, but he needs to step it up. He had some blown coverages, definitely. The outside linebackers had blown coverages. I definitely know Thurston Ambrister had a blown coverage on a play action he baited for and didn't even go back and try to cover the guy he let go. So this is getting kind of long, so I'm going to try and hurry this up. Safeties, Casey Rogers had an okay game. Von Tomac needs to step up his shit, otherwise he's going to be benched. I'm just tired. Him and Ray Armstrong are supposed to be the next great duo in this Miami backfield, but if he doesn't step up his shit, one of the freshmen is going to start over him. Speaking of depth chart changes, the people who I think could get taken over soon, Mike James, definitely your spot's in jeopardy now with Duke Johnson playing the way he did. Yes, it was against Boston College, but if he does that again against Kansas State, I definitely think he could be starting before Game 3. Wide receiver, Malcolm Lewis, he's already listed as a starter now on the depth chart, but Alan Hearns, Philip Dorsett, and mostly Rayshon Scott need to look out for this guy because he could take their spot. Tight ends, I don't think Dyron Dye is going to hold on to that spot very long. I haven't really heard a lot from him. O-linemen, I think are solid there. D-line, I can definitely see some changes on the D-linemen, especially at the other defensive end spot, along from Chickalo, and in the defensive tackle. Luther Robinson probably had the best game out of all the D linemen, so I could see him starting over Curtis Porter or Olsen Pierre. Other than that, though, I haven't really seen anybody from the D tackle spot step up. I'd love to see Darius Smith or Curtis Porter step up, but I haven't seen it from them. Other than that, linebackers, I think Eddie Johnson deserves to start with Perryman and Buchanan. That honestly, I don't think our pass defense would be this bad if we didn't have so many mental errors. Like blown coverages, we can't be doing that. Like I understand we have freshmen, but they need to understand that their first priority should be their assignment on defense, not fucking going after a run play. That's why our defensive line's in there and our linebackers. Like if the cornerback's supposed to have the flat, cover the flat first, and then if you see the running back with the ball, go after him. Don't automatically budge at the ball if you see him trying to hand it off. There could be a lot of play actions. Our secondary needs a lot of work. I can definitely see Deion Bush taking over Von Telenak or Casey Rogers, either one. I can see A.J. Highsmith taking over one of their spots. I can definitely see Ladarius Gunter taking over Thomas Finney's spot, or I think Brandon McGee's having a pretty good year so far, even though it's only been one game. But I do expect Tracy Howard, if he has a better game against Kansas State, which I expect he will. He's the type of player to take his last game into account, take it as motivation, improve, and just get better overall at it. I do expect him to come away with at least 3 picks by the end of the season. So we'll see about that. Special teams, I think, is great. Our punter looks amazing. Our kicker looks amazing. Our kick return game looks fine. It's just our secondary needs to fucking grow some balls and actually stick to their assignment first. And then if you see the ball handed to the running back, go after the fucking ball. But our defensive line needs to make more fucking push too. Like, we're playing fucking Boston College. It's not like their offensive line is going to be massive compared to Kansas State, FSU. Like, when we go up against FSU, we need more fucking push. So that's all for this one. I will have my Kansas State preview up before the game. I don't know if I'll have it up within the next few days. I'm kind of busy, so comment, like, subscribe. Once again, it's all about the U.